All right, welcome to your AI intelligence report for January 27th, 2026. We're going to cut right through the noise today. Where is AI actually making an impact right now? We're talking real business applications, what's happening in the research labs, the good and the bad, and, how society is starting to react to all this. So let's just dive right in.
And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? AI is being used to automate tasks like code review and email organization. This is the big story right now. AI has officially left the lab and landed squarely in our workflows. It's not some far-off futuristic idea anymore. It's a tool, a really, really smart tool that's already saving people time, whether you're a developer or an executive just trying to get through your inbox. It's becoming basic business infrastructure.
Okay, so let's start right there in the world of business. Because companies are rolling out AI in some super practical and honestly pretty clever ways. And what's really interesting is this isn't just a story about the usual tech giants. We're seeing everyone from old school industries to brand new startups getting a serious upgrade.
And when you look at where it's being integrated, the list is wild. We're talking about everything from fashion and design, super creative fields, all the way to the nuts and bolts of residential construction. But the real headline here, it's the core business stuff. Things like workflow automation, email management, HR. These are the areas where specialized AI tools are solving really specific, often annoying problems and delivering immediate value.
And believe me, it's not just about automating small tasks. Take a look at this. This is a huge deal. PVH Corp, the parent company of Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger, is rolling out OpenAI's tools across their entire company. We're not just talking about one department. This is from the very first design sketch to managing a massive global supply chain all the way to how they talk to their customers. That's what full-stack AI adoption looks like in the real world.
But, it's not all just happening at the top with the big corporations. The startup scene is absolutely on fire. Just a quick glance at a site like Product Hunt, and you see this explosion of new, hyper-focused tools. You've got Scout Out, which helps generate proposals for construction, Cosmic AI, which wants to chain agents together to automate whole projects, and Delos Mail, another contender trying to finally solve our email overload. It's this classic story of innovation bubbling up from the ground.
And this kind of shift is starting to reshape entire markets. Think about the job market. A company like Indeed is now using AI to go way beyond just matching keywords on a resume. Their systems are looking at skills, your career path, your experience, all of it, to make much smarter, much faster connections between a person and the right opportunity. Their chief revenue officer basically said this isn't just an upgrade, it's fundamentally changing how hiring even works. Okay, so all these amazing applications we're seeing in business, they don't just appear out of nowhere, right? They're all built on a foundation of some seriously cutting-edge research. So let's switch gears a bit and peek inside the AI engine room to see what's happening on the research frontier. So for the researchers, what's the big question they're grappling with right now? Well, it's really this constant push and pull. On one hand, where are they having these incredible breakthroughs? But on the other hand, what are those stubborn, really tough problems that are just not cracking yet? Understanding that tension is everything if you want to know where AI is going next. And this chart, wow, it lays it out perfectly. Look at the breakthroughs column. Amazing stuff, right? We've got AI helping design drugs for Alzheimer's. We have teams of robots learning to work together. Huge wins. But then, you look at the roadblocks column. AI still can't really get physics, which holds back robotics. The fight to remove bias from these models is a massive, ongoing challenge. And this last one is so telling. AI can generate a ton of code, but humans still have to check and merge most of it, which creates this huge bottleneck. It's a classic 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation. So we've talked business, we've talked research. Let's pull the camera back now and look at the final piece of the puzzle, and maybe the most important one, society. How is all of this tech actually showing up in our daily lives, in our culture, and even in our governments? And this is a really big one. As of today, January 27th, the UK government has made it official. They're partnering with the AI company Anthropic. The plan? To start building AI assistants directly into their public services. This is a massive step. It's one of the first times we're seeing a major government try to weave AI into its core civic infrastructure. The hope is to make government services faster and easier for everyone to use. But here's the fascinating part. At the exact same time that governments are leaning in, we're seeing a real pushback from other corners. This quote from TechCrunch sums it up perfectly. Major players in the creative world,
Authors, artists, even big cultural events like Comic-Con are taking a much harder line against generative AI. They're asking some really tough, really important questions about things like copyright and the future of creative work. So you've got this incredible tension, official adoption on one side and deep cultural concern on the other.
All right, so we've looked at AI in business, we've looked at the labs, and we've looked at its role in society. So what does it all mean when you put it together? Let's try to wrap this up into one big picture, 360-degree view of where things stand. Really, it seems to break down into three main layers that are all happening at once. First, you have integration. That's AI getting woven into the day-to-day fabric of pretty much every industry. Second, you have innovation. That's the research engine, constantly pushing forward but also hitting these major roadblocks. And finally, you have implication. The bigger AI gets, the more society has to grapple with it, leading to both big government partnerships and this cultural debate. Those three things, that's the story of AI right now. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. As AI stops being a new technology and starts becoming basic infrastructure, like electricity or the internet, which established industry do you think is in the most trouble? Which one is most vulnerable to being completely turned upside down? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks so much for tuning in.